we have to make sure we protect both countries. And as we're duking it out back and forth, China's laughing. They're building an arsenal of critical minerals, and we have to work together. We're the two greatest nations in the world. Let's build that AMCAN fortress. And as for the aluminum and steel, 16% of the aluminum that the U.S. makes is produced in the U.S. The rest, vast majority of it, comes from Quebec, Canada, along with steel. But let's work together. Cooler heads have to prevail here, or we'll decimate both economies. And we're seeing it over the last few days.
Understood.
So let me add a little bit of context here. For those of you that are just now catching up, and I've been predicting this, I've been saying it, and this is why we have to be strong and we need men in office that's not caught up in their emotions, but will actually make smart decisions. What's really happening is Canada is catching it from both fronts. Number one, of course, Trump said that we're going to do reciprocal tariffs for anything that Canada charges us, tariffs us on, or charges us as a surcharge. And Canada said, Doug Ford specifically said, yo, we're going to put 25% tariffs. Justin Trudeau was talking tough. I think his name is Mark Carney. He's the replacement for Justin Trudeau. He's a liberal, and he was talking tough. And so then they said, yeah, we're going to do tariffs on y'all because of what Trump said. And then Trump said, all right, cool. Well, then I told you, I warned you, and now we're about to do reciprocal tariffs. And Trump announced that today, and then he said it was going to go into effect tomorrow. No delaying, no wait until April, even though Trump said that he was giving a reprieve to some auto economies. He also said that he does not care. He will absolutely, positively pause any manufacturing coming out of Canada, coming into the United States of America, which obviously will be detrimental to the Canadian economy. One of the things that Doug Ford said is that, yes, 16% of all aluminum is made, and that is made in the United States of America, stays in the United States of America, or we produce a minimal amount of the aluminum that we actually use, which is a problem. That is one of the biggest problems, and that is one of the biggest things that I'm an advocate against, is we sourcing products from other people instead of building up infrastructure inside of the United States of America and businesses inside of the United States of America, which obviously I've been shouting at the mountaintops, is that this is what Trump has been advocating for a long time in the first place. You see what I'm saying? And so the other part of the equation is that China is actually tariffing Canada also right now at the same time. And so they're in a tariff war on both fronts, and they're not built like the United States of America. So now, obviously they want to pause it, and he's going to fly to the United States of America to ensure that he solves for this problem and try to get a deal done so that they can partner as the two greatest, best friends and strongest countries in the world. And we're going to see how that happens. In my opinion, from my view, Canada is blinking. And so when they were saying Canada is united, I wasn't united for what, like 4 days, 3 days?
Understood. So in your conversation then, obviously you've agreed to not implement the surcharge. Did the Commerce Secretary offer you anything in exchange? Was there an understanding that the U.S. would be making a concession as well?
Well, they made the concession of dropping the additional 25%. They had it up to 50% on the steel and aluminum, and a meeting. We need to sit down at the table. We need to move.
You can come in a meeting and we won't put reciprocal tariffs on you if you drop your surcharge and your tariff. Sounds like a fair deal to me, right?
For this USMCA deal as soon as possible. Every single day that goes by, we see the market down over $4 trillion. Inflation's happening. Threats of assembly plants in the auto sector closing down on both sides of the border. Manufacturing, consumer confidence is down. We need to sit down, get this done. We're the largest customer for the U.S. We love the American people, and I do. I spent 20 years of my life there, and I just want to make a deal that's a fair deal for both countries. And let's unite, and let's stick together.
So if I understood you correctly, there will still be a 25% tariff enacted on Canadian steel and aluminum tomorrow. Are you comfortable with that? Are you prepared to reinstate your surcharges potentially down the road?
Well, we have $30 billion of tariffs against the U.S. I can't stand tariffs. Let's work things out. Let's sit down. Let's make both countries prosperous and the greatest two countries in the world. And that's what we need to do rather than arguing back and forth.
And let me just say this. I'm going to let him finish what he got going on, but it was a strikingly different tone just 4 days ago. 6 days ago or something like that, less than a week. It was a completely different tone, 100%. Now, I want Canada to do the right thing also. I do, and I think that Trump knows exactly what he's doing, and that's why he wrote the Art of the Deal. And tariffs is not only incentive for companies to come over into the United States of America, but it's also a negotiating tactic. And so, no, we not tripping. We not backing down. We're going to do exactly what we said we're going to do. We're going to take advantage of the markets on top of that. If y'all not taking advantage of the markets, if y'all not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But it was a completely different tone just a few days ago. That's a fact.
Let's sit down and move forward on this deal. We're the two most important allies in the world. And rather than fighting, we need to sit down and move forward and be united for the rest of the world to see.
So when you have that sit down with the Commerce Secretary and with the trade representative, what do you hope to accomplish? How do you walk out of that meeting on Thursday feeling like things are better and will get better down the road?
Well, we have to make sure that we both send out a message. The markets, I always say, the markets dictate, and the markets have been tumbling. And hopefully that will give a little more certainty to people throughout the world, but especially in the U.S. and Canada. As the markets tumble, people's pension funds will get hurt, investments will get hurt. And that's the last thing we want to do as two great nations, is to hurt the people of the U.S. or hurt the people of Canada.
So coming to this agreement now, have you been in touch at all with the Prime Minister's office, with Justin Trudeau or Mark Carney about the actions you're taking here? Are they backing you up?
Of course they are.
Yes. I'll be heading down with the Finance Minister, Minister LeBlanc, and also Ambassador Hillman. We'll have a conversation with Secretary Lucknecht and his whole team. But this is the right decision on both sides. Nothing happens if you don't sit down and discuss the issues. Let's get the differences on the table. Let's come up with a solution, and let's move forward.
I have to ask you, we've heard President Trump several times, and particularly in the last few days, make reference to Canada becoming the 51st state. Obviously, this is something that folks there in Canada have talked about, have responded to. What's your thinking about the president's comments on that? Is that something that you're taking seriously, at least coming from him?
Well, that's never going to happen. So let's move on from the 51st state. Let's move forward and talk about opportunities for Americans and Canadians. That's what we need to talk about. Future opportunities, protect ourselves against our foes around the world, be it China or anyone else that wants to try to economically or otherwise attack the U.S. and Canada. We need to stick together.
Great job, Dougie. I appreciate you. Thank you for being at the forefront of this movement that allows for us to move forward in the United States of America, stronger, more united than ever. And if y'all not getting behind Trump, if y'all not getting behind what's going on here, shame on you. That means that you was raised by your mother. She told you to pee sitting down, at least from my lens. She told you to pee sitting down. And it's important for us to stand together, band together, and get behind what this administration is doing. They are doing great things, and we're not even 2 months in. Come on, man, get on board. Get on board. Stop being so weak and take advantage of what's going on in the markets, and make sure you tap into the Patreon. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Also, tap into After Hours tonight. We should be having a great conversation. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.